Hi, I'm Greg Undo with Steinberg, and let's take a quick look at some of the new features found in Cubase Pro 8.5. We wanted to make adding tracks easier, so if we wanted to come here, not only can we add tracks, and if we wanted to add audio tracks, we could set it to different output destinations, but we could also add tracks and place it directly below a particular track. So if I wanted to add a group channel or a VCA fader, I could actually place it what's called outside of the folder, and I could place it directly below the selected track. The user interface has some enhancements as well. So if I just hover over different aspects of the program, I can now just turn on and off different parts of the program directly here. Now, we wanted to make it easier for the media bay to find different Steinberg instrument sounds. So now we could actually come over here and go to our presets. And if I wanted to just go to something like our new Retrologue, we can now just simply drag and drop our tracks directly to our project. Now, if I wanted to do this with other types of media, such as different drum loops, one of the things that's very handy is I can now drag and I can place it directly on the timeline and have the track automatically be added. We wanted to make MIDI editing a little easier as well. So now, instead of having to switch to a drawing tool to enter in notes, what we could do is just simply double click and enter in notes. And if I wanted to change the velocity, I could, before releasing the mouse button, I could adjust the velocity. Or if I wanted to hold down my control key, I could also use some of my other modifiers, my alt key, to change the pitch. Or if I wanted to change the length, hold down control and shift, you could place the notes freely around. Now, this also has been some enhancements with the MIDI drum editor. So if I wanted to double click here, we can now just kind of add in MIDI drum notes very quickly, or instead of having to access the eraser tool, you can now just double click. The drum editor has always been fantastic at showing exactly when notes start, but we also now can have the length of the drum notes indicated, which is really handy when using different drum loops on the pads. Now, sometimes we have a lot of different drum sounds, but we may not be using all those drum sounds in a particular project. So if I wanted to, we could now just come right over here and we could say, okay, I just wanted to show all the drum sounds that have events, and I could hide those particular different drum sounds or drum sounds that are only being used in a particular project. Some of the other enhancements include the new Retrologue 2, our virtual analog synthesizer. So not only do we get a third oscillator that's been added, but we have built-in arpeggiators and different effects. So we can have a resonator, EQs, phaser, chorus, modulation, delay, and reverb all included directly within the system. The chord pads have also seen some enhancements. So if I wanted to actually just kind of trigger different chords, we can now just see this little range of notes here, and this will be sections. So if keyboard isn't or piano isn't your primary instrument, what you're able to do is just to simply hit these 4 keys, and that would trigger all the different notes on the selected chord. So one note could actually be triggering the chords, and then you could play the individual notes within the chords here. The transport has also been optimized as well and cleaned up. So we see some more obvious indications and some nifty tempo handling. So if I start off my project, and then if I wanted to just simply adjust it, enable the tempo track, we could do that and just maintain the actual tempo values. Now, some of the other editing paradigms for editing tempo have also been applied in our new tempo track. So if I have a tempo map that's been detected that was a little too extreme, we could just kind of tighten that up, and we have some really nifty tempo editing tools directly here in our system. Now, we also have paid attention to some user details and feedback regarding the mix console, and when we go to add different insert effects. So if I wanted to come here to one of my audio tracks, and if we added an insert effect, let's say a delay, we can now, as we hover over it, we could just simply click right here, and then we could see the power button, the bypass, and the edit. But we could also right-click and change this view to also see the plugin name. So now I could see the power and all the different functions with the plugin name. So the hovering characteristics that some people didn't like previously have been fixed and resolved with that. The last feature we'll take a quick look at is going to involve cloud collaboration. So if I wanted to, I could actually have something called VST Transit. And what this is going to allow you to do is you can set up a profile and say, okay, I play this instrument, this is my style of music. You could take your projects and upload them into the cloud and search for friends or invite friends that are also running Cubase. And at that point, be able to have them collaborate on your project for you. And this is, again, all included with Cubase Pro 8.5. So as you can see, a lot of great user interface enhancements, workflow enhancements, and the ability of having new fresh sounds with Retrologue 2 and cloud collaboration make Cubase Pro 8.5 a great update. And if you have any questions, please contact your Sweetwater sales engineer.